Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast. We are here with Alex Olinger, episode 166. How you doing today, Alex?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Dude, anytime.
It's a pleasure. Again, on the second time I've been here, also hungover again. And I don't want anybody on the other end of this to assume that's how I am all the time.
No, I don't think so.
When I know that I'm going to do your podcast the night before, I just get really hammered.
The stress of this all.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to, I have imposter. What is it? Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome.
So I have to drink before I go on a big podcast.
Yeah, you can't believe that you've made it here.
I can't. And judging by the state of your room, you can't either. You also can't believe that you're in a one-bedroom. My God. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Yeah, you are. Who else lives here?
Nobody. Just
it's just
me.
You?
Just me.
Why do you have like a refugee camp's amount of shoes in your living room? It's like an Indian family lives here. I was like, dude, how many people are in this house? Do you not throw the old shoes out, Chris?
So no, I actually don't. I never throw out old shoes. I just, whenever I need to like cut the lawn or I have something that I can use the shoes for, it's like a white trash thing in me where my mom taught me where she was like, just don't throw out shoes.
Are you white trash? Did we talk about this last time?
We might have. I'm not sure. So I was like white trash until I was like 5. And then so like, not really. My parents were extremely white trash, both of them. My mom more so than my dad, but for sure both of them. Do you know where Erie is?
Pennsylvania.
Erie, Pennsylvania is. Do you know anything about that town?
It's not great.
It's not great. And both of my parents are from there, and it's right outside of Pittsburgh, and it's for people who can't afford to live in Pittsburgh.
Man. Imagine not. I've never been to Pittsburgh. But like, I feel like if you're like, you don't make the bar for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You can't even do Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
What the fuck is in Pittsburgh?
Bridges. A lot of bridges, and it's real cold.
Lots of bridges?
Bridges. City of Bridges. It's called. It's called the city. That's what that city has.
That's when you know you don't got a lot going on. We got bridges. Yeah, you have a lot of rivers. You fucking idiots. Thus, you would have bridges.
Yeah. And so that's sort of the highlight of that. That and Mac Miller. Mac Miller and Pitt Steelers. That's about it. And do you know where the name Steeler comes from?
It was like Steel Factory?
Yeah. So Pittsburgh was originally like a big steel industrial, like sort of like Detroit was.
Yeah.
And then all of that went away. And so now it's just bridges. Because they don't have any manufacturing there.
Is there like a Six Flags or anything?
No.
There's just bridges?
No, there's in Erie, Pennsylvania, Cedar Point is in Ohio.
Yeah, I've been there.
So that's like close-ish. That's probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours from
Cedar
Pittsburgh.
Point's a blast, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know how Ohio got Cedar Point, but they have to have something.
Yeah, they got, well, listen. This is the thing. Let's do a little hot take on Ohio.
Yeah.
Everybody that really talks shit about Ohio, about 95% of them are like, yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh. And I don't. Your place is really shitty too.
Oh yeah.
I'm from the border of Ohio and Michigan. Ohio sucks. I've literally been. There's nothing.
That is true.
It's like you're not from New York or L.A.
Right.
Isn't like most of America like just like a bunch of Applebee's?
Yeah. Most of it is just like Burger King, McDonald's.
You just drive across and you're like, this is the same 6 restaurants. this is the same fucking thing the whole time and it sucks. And then those assholes will be like, well, I'm from Pittsburgh, fuck Ohio. It's like, you are also Applebee's. Like, your highlight is you have a lot of bridges. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Ohio has some nice places. North Ohio, I've been there. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's scary up there.
Yeah.
But, like, Cincinnati's nice.
Well,
My
Pennsylvania.
girlfriend's from there. So now I'm, like, trying to do a thing where I stick up for Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you're doing this? Because this is, like, a lot
Yeah.
of defense for Ohio.
Yeah, but it's also, like, a fair take, I feel like.
Completely fair.
I
What
feel like
you're
it's
saying,
completely logical.
100%. There's nothing illogical about what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's like, the people who talk shit is like, you're doing this, like, on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
probably in your pajamas, in, like, a shitty apartment complex. Do you know what I mean? It's not like,
Right.
like, why is there, the guys should be sticking up for each other.
It's almost like when people say, or when people used to say Justin Bieber sucks, or when Taylor Swift sucks. There's like this thing where it's just easy to shit on. Like it becomes a thing in the, I don't know, zeitgeist where it's like Ohio sucks. But it's like,
Yeah, because just a lot of people said it,
right.
and now it's like a easy thing to say.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it's like, it's the same fucking thing.
Oh, yeah. Pennsylvania is probably as trash as Ohio is.
I would say
For
is
sure.
it's worse.
Probably. You could make that argument for sure.
I don't like, because Philly has like,
Oh, yeah. Philly?
Philly is shit. Philly's a giant sack of shit. And
Yeah.
then like the people from Philly will fucking be like, yeah, but it's like good because it's shit. And you're like, no. You're like, it's shitty. And they're like, yeah, but it's shitty. That's like not an argument to follow it. Shitty, yeah, but like we enjoy it. Like there's this comic here, and she was giving me shit about the tacos here, how they're like too heavy.
Too
And-
heavy.
Yeah, she was like, it makes me feel like bloated. And then she's from Philly, and she was like, later on the conversation, she's like, you should really try a Philly cheesesteak. I was like, so what is this, man? How are you eating Philly cheesesteaks and not having like life-ending diarrhea?
Yeah.
Like it's a disgusting food.
Oh, horrible food. I mean, it
just-
tastes good, but it is disgusting for you.
Does it even taste like I've eaten them and I've been like, this is like hard to do and makes me sweat and is like, it's concerned. They put Cheese Whiz on it. You realize how fucking gross that is? Like Super Bowl fucking football arena, like hot plastic Cheese Whiz
Yeah.
on steak and bread. Like think about that.
Yeah, I can't.
And then these people want to be like, fucking Ohio sucks. Like, you guys are like, dirt, like, trash. All right. Sorry, I sent this one already off the rails.
No. I think
I'm just trying to articulate a take here.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think you articulated it well. I didn't want to shit. I didn't mean to just shit on Ohio. I think Ohio, Pittsburgh, Erie, Buffalo, they're
Yeah.
all in a 4-hour radius.
Bro,
all those
you know
cities.
who-
They
you-
all suck.
Yeah, you know what state slips out of the radar?
Which one?
Fucking Indiana.
Yeah, what the fuck is in
Indiana's disgusting. Listen, and I say this from a place of we're all disgusting together.
Sure.
Even like that's the thing about these like people have beefs with each other. It's like,
Mhm.
why don't we unite on how dog shit most of this is? Like even New York City, there's like piles of garbage in the street, and then like rural people will be like, New York's fucking filled with crime, and it's like, dude, your whole family's on heroin. You're just doing like rural crime and sitting in your double wide
Right.
and being like, New York is dangerous. Like if you go to the country in North Carolina, like there's like people that like I know a dude who like killed himself by accident because he shot a gun into the air and
Mhm.
it came back down and hit him in the head.
Wow.
Like that's like rural North Carolina stuff.
Yeah.
And then that family will be like, New York's fucking shitty. I'm like, well, what happened to Danny? Because you want to bring that up since you have it all like put together so well.
Right.
Your cousin was hammered and accidentally took his own life just shooting a gun into the air in the woods. You know what I mean? Can't we all just be shitty together?
Right. No, absolutely. I
Let's
completely agree with you.
Unite in the shittiness.
Well, America has become isn't what it once was anywhere. I feel like, or it doesn't seem that way.
No.
Especially when you get into like where are the serial killers going? They're not going to like the hood. They're going to like the suburbs and waiting in your backyard in a fucking acre of land that you have. And then you have the suburbs with schools that are guns are just being brought in with the white boys who are on SSRIs.
Yep.
And they're just killing everybody. So where is safe?
Nowhere. It's all an illusion. It's the George Carlin bit. Your safety's an illusion.
Yeah.
It's completely made up to make you feel comfortable about wherever you're at. Dude, they'll take like footage of New York and be like, look how bad this is. But then like the other side of it, it's like, it's also got like everything you would need. It's like a great city.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the country too. The country's beautiful. You know what I mean? Ohio is like a beautiful state.
It is. There are parts of Ohio that are gorgeous.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really nice people.
Especially during the fall.
Yeah, everybody's down to earth, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But it's, you know, every place has like a shit mixed in with like good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think it just, again, it becomes one of those things where it's easy to say. It gets in the zeitgeist of people's mind.
It's like that Nickelback thing.
Right.
Like, what was that?
Yes. Nickelback sucks.
It's like, do they? I mean, yeah, they do. But it's also like, why did you pick this band to just hate for no reason? How does, like, I don't understand how, like, people, like, get really mad. And I'm completely hypocritical for saying this.
Sure.
Because I get mad at, this is like the liberal side of me. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, what being a liberal means is not like to be like a crazy communist. I think real liberalism is drinking a coffee and like being mad at art. Like, that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Just like liberals are supposed to like have a scarf.
Right.
And just be like, art sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, I like it.
Yeah. Like a Larry David kind of type.
Yeah. What the
what's going on here?
What's going on with Nickelback? So I'm hypocritical for saying this because I do criticize that shit a lot. But it also is like, if it sucks, just like don't bring it up or listen to it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with Nickelback, too, it always comes back to, well, what are you listening to? Are you only listening to Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin?
Oh, one of those guys?
Yeah, it's like, it's somebody who hates on Nickelback is like, all right, what music do you listen to in the car?
Oh, it's probably like some pretentious thing that was like recorded in a basement. Like it's like some hipster just like beating a trash can in his basement. Some shitty basement show.
Yeah.
They're like, Nickelback sucks. It's like, you also suck really bad. It's the thing with the States.
Yeah.
It's like, they suck. It's like, so does your band. Nobody knows your band, and you're mad about it. You think that, like, Nickelback took away from you. Quite frankly, Nickelback and Creed are actually... Can't believe I'm going to say this. I would actually say they don't suck at all.
I don't think Creed is bad at all. I actually like Creed a lot. I mean, I'm not a big Creed fan. I wouldn't call myself a Creed fan.
You were raised by people from Erie, Pennsylvania. The thing about, I think Nickelback does kind of suck, but Creed is like, has a special place in my heart. Where it's like, you don't understand. It's like, people are like, it's garbage, bad, but it's like, it's the sound of America.
It
like
really is.
It's like, it is the American thing that pretentious people in cities don't want to admit that America is. And a lot of America is a dude with like a flaming cross tattoo, and his breakfast is like a Monster Energy and a cigarette. So it's almost like Creed has tapped more into the zeitgeist of the people than like these pretentious people
Yeah,
ever
that's
could
true.
have at like some fancy schmancy art museum.
Yeah, well, I think
You know, like I think that's like why Creed is actually kind of good. It's also shitty, but it's like honestly shitty. Like I don't feel like they understand. Like it's so genuine to me when I see it
mm,
in its kind of mediocrity and shittiness that it almost becomes not that to me anymore.
I get what you're saying.
It's kind of like Weezer to me.
Mm.
Like Weezer, like answer me this: is Weezer the best band ever, or are they the best worst band of all time, or are they the worst best band?
I think I would need to smoke pot and think about that.
Yeah, but you can't answer it because they're perfectly the most mediocre band of all time.
Yeah.
But that's like their art. That's what they are. And they took mediocrity and made it like a sound. So they kind of like did their job. And people are like mad that they're mediocre. It's like, yeah, but that's
That's who they are.
that's the artist's job. That's the sound that they brought because that's what world they're living in. So they kind of did it perfectly.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like in like pretentious artists, like a lot of artists try to do way too much. Do you know what I mean? And it almost like has the reverse effect of like you do too much and then you almost do like nothing. But like Weezer nailed it. You might not like the mediocrity of it, but they nailed that thing. They're like four like losers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just made that sound, and it's like perfectly that. It's really genuine. And that came out at a time when Nirvana was big, and everybody was trying to be like a grungy loser. And a lot of that shit for some of those bands was like fabricated and made up.
Yeah.
And Weezer was just like, yeah, they have a song. They're just like, we're just in the garage. Everyone's like, what? They're like, yeah, I'm just that's their song. I'm in my garage right now. And you're like, thanks, Weezer. But I think it's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely know what you mean. They're not trying to be something they're not.
Right.
And that there's a beauty to that.
And it's great. It creates its own unique sound.
It does, I mean, and again, going back to what I was saying, people who would say Nickelback, Weezer, Creed sucks. It's like, have you ever tried to create anything before? It's like hard.
It's hard to do.
Oh, it's like hard to like play an instrument. Even just somebody else's music is like difficult.
Yeah.
Let alone writing your own stuff. And if you're just some guy in a garage, you might write a song about being in a garage.
Right, and that's the beauty of it. They weren't trying to be like
I'm with you.
super great. That's like so annoying for like when average people try to act way better than they are artistically. It's really upsetting. You know what I mean? It creates like a bad vibe and it makes the music really bad. They just let the thing be what it was.
Yeah, it becomes pretentious.
Yeah, highly pretentious.
It's like, fuck, I just saw something, a director of, I forget which director, I think it was Christopher Nolan, but I'm not sure. He said something about, one of the scariest things about being a director is trying to make something deep, and then it's not that deep, and so you just come off as like a pretentious douchebag.
Yeah.
And then it's like you could have just made this idea that was kind of simple and fun into like this dark, meaning satire thing, and it's like it fails.
Right.
And so just be Weezer.
Yeah, if you're Weezer, just be Weezer. That's what Weezer understands.
Yeah.
That's why people are like it's not great, and I'm like I agree, but that's why it's great to me. Like, why can't you just fucking enjoy that?
Yeah. Or let somebody else enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just like there's like a time and a place. Like, not every movie has to be like.
Yeah.
All the movies can't be brilliant Scorsese works.
No.
Or it would be exhausting. And then, like, the Scorsese thing wouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
That's
Because
a
it would
great
just
point.
fucking. It wouldn't. Everybody's got their own lane.
Right. No,
Creed has their own lane. They're for a certain type of person. Also, like Creed and Nickelback, you can say, and this is just a hypothetical because I'm not trying to insult anybody. Let's say like most of their audience, this is what people would say, is like their audience is like dumb, or like most of their audience is dumb and that's why they like it. But it's like, let's say even hypothetically that they are dumb. Do you know how hard it is to like entertain a dumb person? I'm not trying to sound like a douche, but it's like difficult.
yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, you ever hang out with one of your friends who's like extra dumb?
Mm-hmm.
You like it's like hard like keep them
That's so true.
like
Yeah.
stimulated.
Yeah.
I knew that it was gonna sound douchey. That's not what I mean.
No. But you're right. That's
it's
the
fine.
problem.
Some people are dumb. That's fine. A lot of these like. A lot of like super pretentious people, these artists, it's like there's like a bitterness that like they can't relate to normal people.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that's the
absolutely.
thing they're not admitting. Is like they see it hit for so many people and they're like, well, that's because people are dumb. And it's like, maybe you're so smart, you're also dumb. Maybe you've like worked your brain way too much and you've gone into this like stupid fucking place that like you're like pinning trash to the wall on the MoMA. Yeah. Or in the museum, and you're like, nobody fucking gets it. It's because like you couldn't do it. And then Creed steps in and goes quadruple platinum. And you're like, well, that's because people are stupid. It's like you could never get there. Yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Fucking blowing your little mind over here.
You really are.
This is what you get when you just drink beers and work at pizza places for most of your life. You get really like in depth artistic theories about like defending Creed and stuff.
Creed and Weezer.
Really, which I'm learning there's like really not a huge audience for. There's like not. Because like the dudes that listen to Creed a lot and that smoke the cigarettes and drink Monsters at the factory, they don't want to hear all this shit.
Yeah, they don't care what you're saying.
And then as soon as because it's like,
they don't care about defending their music.
No, they just listen to it. They don't give a shit. And do like a artistic expose on Creed. The people that want artistic exposés hate Creed. So as soon as you say that, people are like, dude, fuck you. Like, there's like people I know that I try to stick up for Creed. They get fucking pissed. It's wild.
They get mad?
Yeah, they're like, dude, what? Fuck that. Like, as soon as I bring up Creed, they're like, fuck that. And I'm like, listen to me. I've thought about this so much.
As I cut a pizza.
Yeah, I've thought about that as I work on a kitchen line.
You are right. I had a dumb friend on the podcast, very, very back when I was like 17 or whatever, and he would go on his phone if we weren't talking about something interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
And they were just like, if it wasn't captivating to him,
to him, moment, he's out. He's
done.
Out, dude. He's not looking for any other answers. He's not curious.
Right.
He's just whatever's in front of him. It's a simple yes or no. And if it's a no, he's out. So tell me, like, if the audience is really, like, if your whole audience is, like, of a 75 IQ.
Yeah.
Which is statistically, like, not possible. But that would be, like, hypothetically.
Sure.
To entertain those people would be a monstrous task.
Yeah. Especially with social media. I mean, I'm sure it was easier to grab dumb people's attention in the 90s. But now with phones, if dumb people...
The phone has won.
Yeah.
The phone wins.
Dude. It wins over everything.
It crushes.
I mean, it's unbeatable. It's undefeated.
Yeah, they really... They dialed it in. It's like a cat toy. Do you watch people, like, slide their hands? Watch a cat. It'll, like, just hit the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Back and forth, and that's just what people do on their phones. And they get, like, kind of mad at something. And they, like, play with it a little more, and then they keep flicking it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to watch.
Oh, and you'll
And you're
see.
like, oh, we're fucked. We're so fucking dead.
And when somebody picks up, their phone and they go on Twitter, X, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you never know what mood they're going to come out of when they're done with that session. Like, they could be horny, they could be angry, they could be laughing.
It could be all of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when I get off my phone, a lot of times I'm just scared and horny. And it's not a good way to be.
No.
I'm like, the world is burning. And also, like, you can't, like, put a fat ass in the middle of, like, riot footage. It's wild to do to somebody. You can't just put a woman shaking her ass in the middle of, like, footage of Gaza. Like, what is that going to do? It's just, like, going to ruin somebody psychologically. I don't know what the long-term effects that are going to be.
No,
but it's what
horrible.
they fucking interject. It's crazy.
Well, and not only do they, interject on, like, just different social medias, like, you'll go from one social media page to another. On the same social media page, I remember when Billie Eilish went on Vogue and the George Floyd thing was still going on during 2020, and they would have the video of George Floyd right next to Billie Eilish magazine cover. And you just go, hey.
What is this?
We can't do this.
There's a time and a place. Let's, like, separate these things. You know what it feels like? Remember when they started putting, like, they would, like, combine gas stations with, like, Walmarts?
Yes.
Remember when that was the first thing come around?
Huge.
People were like, oh, you can get gas and, like, gamble. And people were like, you're like, no, that's a bad idea.
Maybe.
You should have to go to, like, the gambling building.
Right.
Like, that shouldn't be right fucking there.
Right. No, it's too easy.
It's crazy. That's what, like, social media is to me.
And I think
it's just they're, like, putting, Gaza. Like, there's people that have seen children in Gaza die and immediately, like, jerked off right after. Not because of that footage, but they've gone from that to a fat ass and rubbed one out. So you're thinking about, like, the attention span. They're not, like, I'm not saying I don't know, how clean does this podcast have to be?
Oh, it doesn't matter at all.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Say whatever you
Chris
want.
is like, 5 people listen to this. You can say whatever you want.
One of them is my mom.
Hey,
I'm
how's
kidding.
it going?
I'm kidding.
Hey, Chris's mom. No, but, like, I'm not saying people have jerked off to the Gaza footage.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, like, I don't know. But they've, like, within a span of 2 minutes, someone has, like, seen a fat ass right after that and just gone to the bat. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's, like, not okay.
No, it's not okay. Totally not okay.
Because you just push the Gaza footage down in the back of your subconscious and go do so. It's wild.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a solution. Also, I want to say to people that listen to this, I'm not smart either. So let's whatever I'm saying about dum-dums and Creed entertaining them, don't think it's coming from a place of me. Because I was entertained. I'm entertained by Creed.
Right. Right.
So they got me.
I don't.
They got me. Definitely got me going.
I think we're staying perfectly in our lane right now.
Yeah.
We're talking about Creed, Weezer, and
Gaza.
the effects of jerking off after Gaza. I think.
Yeah, we're fine. But I know that's happened. Someone's done that.
Oh, well, I'm going to throw another situation at you that I've never done before. But let's say you go to check on your ex-girlfriend's social media, and you go there with the intention of jerking off. And then all of a sudden you now know your ex-girlfriend's political stance on Gaza with
so
war
now
footage.
we're reversing it.
Yeah.
Let's say you
Yes.
went to look for a fat ass and said
Yes.
you landed on Gaza.
Yeah.
That's healthier.
Is it?
then ending with a jerk off. I think so.
So if you go somewhere with a hard
Well,
dick,
let's back up. Let's back up because you said a lot.
I did. That was
Yeah,
a big
I'm gonna
sentence.
For the audience
Break
here,
it all
let's
down.
break it all down. First off, that's definitely something you did.
For sure. That was the joke. That was the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've done
'Cause
that
you were
multiple
like, I don't
times.
know about this. I don't know who would have done this.
Yeah.
But let's say somebody, I don't know who,
Me.
goes to jerk off to pictures of my ex-girlfriend. What? In my room. Using my phone. Okay, so Chris definitely did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
First off,
Mm-hmm.
this is coming from a 33-year-old.
Please.
Don't ever do that, man. That's a 21-year-old mistake. It's time, if you get that feeling next time, you gotta put your phone down
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta just vacuum. Just start cleaning the table. Seriously, just start picking up the trash in here. Maybe throw away 90% of those shoes. Just do that instead, man. Because that's. I'm not judging you, but I'm just telling you that's a downward spiral.
Oh, please judge me. It's totally okay.
No, I'm just saying that's a way to work yourself into a dark place.
Mm.
And then you land on. Here's the thing. Every ex-girlfriend has political views.
Right.
That's just a fact of being a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they turn to your ex-girlfriend, they start tweeting about shit.
Mm.
They just get political. And honestly, let's be honest, pretty liberal, pretty left-wing stuff. That's how that's what happens, man. Ex-girlfriends.
Mm.
They
Go ahead.
It's happened more than once. Where
Mm.
I've checked in or I've heard about an ex. They've been like, yeah, she's gone super. She's like an activist now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about me.
I can double it. I'll take your pile and double it. My ex-girlfriend came out as gay recently.
Oh boy,
So
you really did a number on that one.
yeah. Well, so did my best friend.
Chris, what the hell? What's something about living with you
Yeah.
makes people gay.
No.
So she came out as gay.
She came out as gay after probably getting with my best friend.
What?
Yeah. You don't know. Did I not tell you any of this?
No, dude.
You don't
First off, I was like, dude.
I was trying to make a reference to something, and I thought you knew.
No, dude.
I'm sorry. That was
from my
a lot
perspective,
I threw at you.
From my perspective, I was like, "Where's Chris?" And then I get a cryptic message, being like, "I had to return home. Things are bad." Like a DM, and I was like, "This dude's going on like a quest," and I thought you'd never return. I was like, he's gonna go on a hero's journey, and then for some reason I got back here, and I was like, he has like more roommates now, because he has like 80 pairs of shoes. I don't even know what's going on, man. I didn't know what happened. We never talked about it.
I guess we didn't.
That other dude that you're doing comedy
Yeah,
with?
Dominic. Yeah.
He hooked up with your lady?
Yeah, hooked up with my lady.
Oh, Jesus.
Or they were living still living together. They were living together. They're still living together. They've been living together. And it was right after the fact. But they never got together, according to them. That's not me. But they are living together. And
So
right
they didn't
after
get together, but they're living together? Well, it sounds like you dodged a bullet. What kind of hellish situation is that?
Dude.
What the fuck? You're free.
Yeah.
Don't be bummed out about that. Let's break that down a little bit. She finds out she's gay.
Mm-hmm.
Or she finally admits it or whatever.
Yeah.
T says he's gay.
No, he doesn't say he's gay. But they're living together.
So he's trapped. Seriously. he's not gay. He's living with a chick who's like now openly gay.
Right.
And they're living together. I mean, that's just... Do they even enjoy each other's company?
No idea.
No idea, man. Like,
And-
he's like... So he clearly... Does he have, like, feelings for her or whatever?
So the gay thing is new, which throws a monkey wrench into the whole situation, right? And what all I knew was that they were living together at Dominic's place for a long time after we broke up. Then they both came back to Massachusetts because I was still paying for the apartment right over there because she said that she was going to stay there, but then went back.
She should pay for it then.
That's what I
So I'm saying.
said.
Okay.
And then we transferred the lease over here to this one bedroom right now. And then they were still hanging out, still good friends. I think they were living together still. And then right after Trump lost the election, she came out as gay. So I don't know what I went through.
Dude, I don't either.
I have
Wow.
more questions than answers.
I don't have any for you. That like threw me for...
Am-
It's really what's crazy about it is the sequence of events.
Right.
When you really get down to the details,
Yeah.
it's highly confusing.
It's totally confusing. Totally 100% confusing.
Listen, man, you're doing great, and you dodged a bullet. I'm 100. I don't know specifically what kind, but I know you dodged
Yeah.
some type of weird bullet, especially if she's not gonna be fucking paying rent when she's there. That sucks.
Oh, it was, I mean,
and
it
then
was
you have
horrible.
to pay for it. So one, she's a shitty roommate
Mm-hmm.
because she's not paying her rent.
Right.
Two, she was like confused about her sexuality or whatever. So you got that out of the way. Thankfully, that didn't happen when you guys like married or something.
Mm-hmm. I think.
Which is no hate to her
Yeah.
for that. You got to
course.
figure out what you are, but you got that out of the way early at 21. She should have been paying the rent. She's not doing that. So you got rid of that situation with the sexuality. Then you got rid of a shitty roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And also, dude who's supposed to be your bro is just living with her,
Mm-hmm.
not getting pussy.
See, that's.
But that's...
I don't believe that, though. I think they got together. I
Well,
think they-
then now she did it to two guys. That's what I'm saying. She flip-flopped on two guys, and you were the one that managed to not have to live with her anymore. So if they got, this is what I'm saying, if they got together, he's clearly living there in the hope that she's going to come back around to
yeah.
liking dudes. And he's probably paying most of the rent because she doesn't do that,
Well,
apparently.
no. He's living at her parents' house.
What the hell is going on? The fuck? So fucking stupid. What the fuck, dude? You're doing great, man.
I'm doing great.
You're crushing it. Just fucking please clean the place. But you're doing fine. Literally, like, your problems right now are about, like, they're like vacuum level. If you just pick this place up, I don't know why there's 80 half-finished water bottles in here. But if you just recycle those, vacuum, you have a whole new life ahead of you. You can't. You don't want those people holding you down.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I don't
You're
want to.
fine, bro. You're really fine.
Thank you.
Well, he's not. That's bizarre and upsetting on like a bunch of different levels. That like you just don't want that. You don't. Trust me.
A lot of people said that to me, or have said that to me. It's like, you're doing good.
You're fine, bro.
You're doing everything you're supposed to. Just keep going.
You're getting out. Yeah, stop looking at her social media.
I
I saw her. There's better women to look at. Seriously. I met her once. I mean, if you got a whole fucking internet ahead of you, look at somebody else when you're jerking it. I mean, come on, man. That's just step it up. Like, do a quick Google search. Even in the category of weird girls that are bi with green hair. There's like a bajillion. There's like a bajillion other options out there, bud. Let's just move on from that.
Okay.
You can get any type. Video games, wearing cat ears. You know what I mean? There's a whole gamut of weird chicks that could ruin your life.
Right.
Just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I've healed. I'm ready for the next bisexual girl to come and ruin my life.
Man, what you need is you need to accept your roots of Erie, Pennsylvania, and just start dating a Republican chick. It's it. Not all of us have the money and the time to be chasing around bisexual girls like that.
Right.
I will be honest with you. That might be a luxury you can't afford at this point.
Right. That's true. I need one that is totally okay if she needs an abortion to go to another state. You know what I mean? That's what I need. That's what I need.
You know what you need to do?
What?
And fucking pull out, you fucking demon. That's what you fucking need to do. How are you going to bring that up?
What?
How are you going to approach the situation?
Where?
How are you going to figure that out? At dinner one night? Just being like, listen, I'm totally going to come inside you. There's nothing I can do about it. So you're going to have to be okay with traveling for this. You're going to say that to somebody? You fucking maniac, dude. With the 90 pairs of shoes in your house? You're going to fucking say that out to dinner? No, you're not. Just relax, man. Holy hell. You can definitely tell that, like, the cerebral cortex finishes developing in the brain at 27. Because you'd be talking to 21-year-olds and they're like, I'm going to need somebody who's going to I'm going to need somebody who can travel for an abortion. You're like, dude, what? Similar interests, nice, kind, has a job. We're definitely going to have to leave the state. If I'm doing what I want to do, we're going to have to leave the state for sure. So she's going to have to be ready. That's wild. This whole thing is fucked. Why is there a fucking peanut on the table? There's one fucking peanut. It's shit like that, dude. No girl's gonna agree to let you just rip one off inside of them raw when you got a fucking loose peanut on your table. This is crazy, dude. Crazy. I also want to find Dominic and slap him. Just be like, where are they in Massachusetts? Like in the middle of bumfuck?
Right, suburbs of Boston.
What's the rent over there?
Like 4 times what it is here.
Oh, really? Well, that's fair then.
It's pretty close.
I thought they were out in the country. I was about to be like, the rent's like $600 a month. Just go to work at Chipotle or something, man. What are you doing? Wow.
Okay, I didn't actually mean that.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope you know that I would never ask.
I know, but you started laughing, and I caught a groove, so I was like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna,
completely.
I'm just gonna fry him for this.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Of course, I'm the best.
Fuck. That's so wild.
No, what I actually need is a girl who is okay with 80 pairs of shoes and
no, Chris, you need to throw them out.
No, dude.
You need a girl who's okay mentally with herself. And fucking, if you need to clean your apartment, clean it. Listen to them. Some people have your best interests in mind.
Right.
And when they're like, throw away the shoes, you throw them out, dude. I mean, how many... And like a lot of them, dude, are like flip-flops.
Yeah. No.
How many flip-flop activities are there? I understand if you have like work boots and the lawn mowing sneakers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like flip-flops, too. All right. Let's bring it back around. When I looked in your eyes, that one sunk a little deep.
No.
He's like, the flip-flops.
Yeah. Dude, you
got
crossed the
quiet on
line
me,
with
yeah.
the flip-flops.
Yeah. Just saw your face. You're like, my bad.
No, you're right about the flip flops. I have too many, far too many. I thought you were gonna say something afterwards, so I wanted to let you
I kind of
finish.
steamed out. Yeah.
So yeah, that's where that was my hero's journey, as you would describe, was going back to Massachusetts
Yes.
and paying for the apartment that I wasn't living in,
Yes.
and then coming back here.
Yeah, you made it back.
I did.
I'm glad,
Finally.
man. It's good to have you back.
Finally. Thank you. Thank
This is
you.
better.
Thank you. Yeah, I barely see you at open mics anymore. You're doing so many shows all the time.
I need to go back. I fucked up. Hold on, let me count real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like to have as many sets as there are days. That's kind of my...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so what's the date today? Is it the 2nd? Yeah, so Friday was the last day of January. The thing is like, I was going to less open mics. You know what I mean? Because of the shows, but it was also like, I like to have as many sets as there are days, and it's good to stay in a groove.
Right.
Sometimes the problem with these shows are like, I had like one weekend where 3 out of 4 shows got canceled. And I was pretty like pissed about that because it was like, I missed days where I could have been doing mics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that makes
it's,
sense.
I definitely have been trying to go. Tuesday is now like a good open mic day. They got like a new one at Chupacabra's on 6.
Oh, yeah?
That Corey Adams is running it, and then Anderson Mill, is a shit show, but occasionally it's good.
Occasionally.
So it's like, I feel like it's just good to stay loose and in a rhythm. I was talking to Ollie Musa about it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the thing was like, I go to mics and I need to keep doing this because I know that there's going to be like some moments in stand up where like I don't really want to do it. There's just going to be some days where it's going to be like a tough set or you got a shitty crowd. Yeah. And it's not really to work on material or my act, the mics. It's just to make myself do it when it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to make myself like help myself stay like loose and in a rhythm.
Yeah, that makes sense. And like, shit's going to happen in your life too, personally, that have nothing to do with stand-up that are going to make you not want to do stand-up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just wake up and maybe you didn't get enough sleep or you didn't eat right or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just the normal human being experience.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have to go out and be your best for however long time you're on stage for.
Right. So that's, I need to keep going. It's not that I couldn't do mics. It's just that, like, I was able to take, like, some days off. But I still do them,
Oh, yeah.
I like the Southmouth one a lot.
I don't know that one. Southmouth?
The one with Mike Hale.
Oh, yeah,
That's
on
like
Wednesdays.
That's actually, like, a really good mic.
Great mic, and there's sometimes actual human beings there.
Yeah, it's just got a good vibe.
Which is weird. It is weird when that happens, when you actually have, like, and not, a few. Like, you'll have, like, maybe 5 regular people there who aren't comics. And that's huge for an open mic.
Yeah.
Like, real big. And the thing is, though, whenever an open mic gets good like that, whenever you have a good open mic, every comedian starts going. Like, so I remember, like, a month or 2 ago, you would go and there would be 15 maybe comics. Now it's up to 25, probably.
Yeah. Because they all found out about it.
Right, exactly.
That's how it goes. But as long as the vibes aren't bad.
No.
Like, some of the mics are, like, fucking dark. You know what I mean? You go there and you're like, this, like, is really, like, depressing.
Yeah. A lot of the late night Creek in the Cave mics are
just awful.
Very.
I'm lucky we do that Monday show.
At a Creek.
10, yeah. Because my experience at the Creek now is like literally walking in 15 minutes before the show, going to the green room, and then leaving right after.
Oh, really?
Which is great because
it's awesome.
I'm like, hanging out at a mic is, you just, I don't know. You just soak up all that like energy and just weird comic.
Yeah.
Like energy that they just put into the room and all that negativity, and then you gotta like scrub your brain after that. It's brutal, dude.
There was a guy who walked into the creek. I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. It was Wednesday night. And this guy just goes up on stage and he goes, "Suck my dick." Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
And then he does that for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That's all he said. And then he gets off stage and he keeps screaming, "Suck my dick." Woo, 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 woo. And then they have to kick him out. They have to physically kick him out of Creek. And that's on you. Like, no matter how much you want to be like, that didn't affect me at all.
No.
And I'm sure if you're a woman, it probably affected you way more. And if he was even remotely close to you. And he looked like the type of guy to go on stage and scream what he screamed for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And so you just go, wow.
Yeah, it's upsetting.
Yeah, it's very upsetting.
It's like really, really dark and tragic thing to see.
Yeah.
Like somebody's like let themselves get to that point mentally where they're not even like trying bits or even trying to be funny. It's just like negativity, defeated negativity and rage just turns into a man like completely giving up and just going, "Suck my dick." Woo! Like it's scary, dude.
And just it does whenever I see somebody do something weird like that, I always go, "What happened in this man's life?"
What happened is they lost it, probably doing too much open mic comedy. Honestly, can really like beat you down.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
If you don't have like a healthy handle on it mentally, and you just can't really handle the disappointment of it, and sort of like how like endless it can feel when you're down in the mic trenches. It can like get up under your skin really bad.
Mm-hmm. And also, anybody who does stand up is already a little out there.
Right. So you take in, and then like our scene too attracts. Like I'd say like the Austin open mic scene has like some of the most evil goblins in the country.
You think so?
Just creatures, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like freaky. Like there's like a lot of people that show up to some of these mics where you're like, I mean, like they like scare me because I'm like, this person might actually like stab me or somebody. Yeah. Like fucking like crazy schizophrenic homeless people.
And
they
that's
just like be at the mics and you're like, this is like really, really disturbing.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, the homeless is a part of the open mic comedy scene in Austin.
Yeah.
Like to some degree, on some level. It's not, fentanyl passed out on the side of the road, but it is like there's a lot of open micers who are homeless.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones who are homeless. There's a lot of bad ones who are homeless. And then on top of that, you see homeless people see other homeless people going to this thing where they're a part of a community, and they want in on that.
Yeah.
And so now you have this weird
hodgepodge of like crazy ass people.
Yeah.
And like Kill Tony attracts crazy people. Mm-hmm. Like kind of the way the mothership and the scene has been marketed has like really attracted some fucking lunatics. Like the really delusional people that are like, yeah, like this is gonna like happen immediately. I'm gonna go do my minute and I'm gonna be bathed in the lights of the stage and they're gonna love me and carry me out
right
like a king. Like that's like a delusional thought. And they've marketed it like that can happen.
Right.
So you just got all these like delusional people that move down here to do it. That was one of the reasons I stopped going to Kill Tony. Yeah. Because I wasn't a regular. So it was like I wasn't getting pulled every time. And then it was like 4 hours around these people.
Yep.
And then like you come out of that, do a minute, and then you're just getting hammered by Tony Hinchcliffe. And then you just leave. So you're like, what the fuck just happened? It's a very like bizarre trajectory. Yeah. You hang out in like a pit, like a cow pen of insane people for 4 hours.
Some of the most mentally ill human beings.
Yeah, and then you come out of that and go onto a stage with a massive audience base and platform, and then you're at like a hugely high pressure comedy situation, and then you just leave, and it's a weird experience.
And not only that, the adrenaline. You're already on alert because you're in this pit of mentally ill people.
Yeah, dude.
And then what you're saying, you know that the high stakes comedy situation could be there. Could be there, could not.
It is there because you go, if you get drawn,
Right.
it is there.
It's
like,
there. And so now you're doubling the adrenaline.
Yeah.
So you're basically like working out adrenaline level for 4 hours, but not moving your body.
Yeah.
So your body's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing to me?
Yeah, there's so much adrenaline inside you.
Yeah.
You're not moving, and we think we're going to die, and also we think we could make our careers. What's happening?
No, it's an insane mental experience. It's like super exhausting.
And also, you know.
But yeah, the crazy people for me was a huge part of that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm not.
You can't do it all the time.
I'm not. No, like never.
No, you won't sign up for Kill Tony again?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Maybe if I got passed to the mothership and they asked me to come do a set, I would probably do one.
Sure.
Like the whole like bucket thing and being in that world for like 4 hours to begin my week is wild. And I'm like, I'm good without it. I also know that like 99% of comics make it without doing something like that.
Right. Well, it's a whole brand new thing.
Right. And it's like, you know, I could post to my own social media. I can get good on my own time, at my own speed, in a way that I can manage and feel like is like healthy for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I do that? And I you know, I get like more time on stage on Mondays if I spend the 4 hours doing other shit.
Right.
Than waiting to maybe get pulled out of the bucket. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
just like a practical thing. Like I don't think anybody can make it in comedy and hold a career unless they're like absolutely skilled at it. And I think even in the Instagram world, I think that that's true.
Sure.
Like I don't
Sure.
think you can tour and sell out clubs in theaters unless you're really, really good at it.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
goal right now is to get really, really, really good at it.
And you can probably do it for a little bit, like a small period of time. But if you want to be one of those guys who's around for 10 years, which you want to be, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you have to be really fucking good.
You have to be good. Yeah.
I mean, you have to be great, really.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
how
have
do I
to.
get great? Is it waiting to do 1 minute
For
and
4 hours.
then an interview for 4 hours on a Monday, or is it taking that 4 hours to do like other things?
Right.
And then maybe if I get big enough, they hypothetically might ask me to be a guest or do a set. That's fine. You know what I mean? But as
Yeah.
far as the bucket thing goes, it's like I would just have to spend my time elsewhere. Like the day should be formulated around what is going to make me better at comedy.
Yeah. Agreed.
And that's it.
And that's how I've started to look at it, is just aside from everything you've said, which is correct, but 4 hours, I could hit 3 mics.
Yeah.
3-4
Seriously.
mics in that time,
Right.
especially in Austin on a Monday night. And now you're talking, I might do 1 minute, or I can do 15 minutes.
Right. In the 1 minute, I'll be in front of a great crowd.
Yes.
But it's also like the thing too about doing that minute is like it's a showcase minute where you are showing off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're really getting better.
Yeah.
It's like you want to bring something guaranteed. You don't go on Kill Tony to be like, is this thing going to work?
No.
No, you know it works. So it's like a different thing than like actually getting
Mm-hmm.
a lot better or like working on the act. It's like I'm going to go here to maybe showcase it. And maybe Tony and them are going to like me enough to have me back. And then maybe they'll make me a regular. And then maybe that will make me famous enough to like do my own tour. Because there were a lot of regulars before the Mothership days that it didn't really like solidify their careers like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like you can do the tour off being a regular there. How long is that going to last if you're not great at comedy?
Probably not long.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
when the thing comes around to you, you have to be great at comedy so that when people come to see it and they pay for it, they want to keep coming back. You know what I mean? So it's like all these like maybes in a row to maybe do this thing.
Yep.
And I feel like you'd have to be like a Cam Patterson sort of person where you're like extremely naturally funny and highly talkative with a lot of really good stories. Because it seems like what he's doing is doing like a little bit more burner material for his minute and then working on everything else during the week.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like so much more than that. You know what I mean? So just to be like, oh, I'm going to get on Kill Tony and it's going to make this thing happen is like not the case. I'd almost argue unless you have like a super strong hint from your appearance that they want to make you a regular,
Mm-hmm.
which Tony will like almost like let people know almost immediately.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's always like, "Well, come back again." You know, if you start doing that, like you'll know pretty fucking quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 3. I felt like they knew it was good. I got Secret Show on them, but it didn't seem like he wanted me to be like a regular. So it was like, well, I'll just do something else to get really great instead of like just being like, this is the only way I'm gonna make this thing happen, because it's not. I mean, for the whole rest of the country, literally all the rest of the comics, they do it like in a more traditional sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and there is, and I always bring this up to people, and I don't want to talk shit because I don't want to be like, oh, so you don't like Kill Tony or whatever. No, I like Kill Tony. I like that it's here. I like that I have even the option to go and sign up, and we can think about this. I like that fact. But, you know, and you probably know this clip. I don't know if a lot of people do. Bill Burr went on Kill Tony.
Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorite clips.
Trashed, not Tony, not Red Band, the whole idea of Kill Tony.
Yeah.
He trashed.
Yeah.
He goes, this is dumb.
Yeah.
You're letting these people who aren't good at this thing do 1 minute, which is already really hard. And he says, word for word, you can't be funny in 1 minute.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. If I say it, that's one thing. If you say, if Bill Burr says that, it's like, okay, so this is up for debate if this is even good or not.
I think it's a great entertainment show.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good comedy show.
That's a great way to put it.
I think it's a genius entertainment show.
Yeah.
It's like geniusly entertaining,
Mm-hmm.
and he's rode that wave.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as being like a comedy show, it's like I want to watch Louis or like Nate Bargatze do an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's because it's like if you're a fan of watching stand up,
Yes.
why would you want to watch these people only do a minute? And then like when I was on, this is part of one of the times I realized this is like something different than like getting really good at comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's cool, but it's like it's not the same thing as I was coming out. I was behind the curtains and I heard Tony go, "Clap it up if you like when the comedians do well." And like the people clapped. And he said, "Nah, clap it up if you like when the comics do bad." And the whole room like exploded.
Yeah.
And then I was like, later when I got home, I was like, what comedy audience wants a comic to bomb? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not watching this really for the same reason.
Yes.
Do you know? There's something else going on here that's not like just a comedy show. Like it's they watch it for like the entertainment value.
Right.
They want to see. They'd rather see like a crazy thing happen than to see somebody be like great at it. It's almost like the America's Got Talent thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like you got to have like a backstory.
Yeah.
You can't just be good at singing. It's like your parents had to die in a house fire, and they got to do the interview. And we got to drum it up to make it seem like dramatic.
Right.
You know, it's like a lot of the comics are like, all the white comics are like disfigured. on there. And it's like, we could see a hot minute from a normal guy, or we could see a hot minute from a sexy lady in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So it's like different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not great entertainment. It's
Right.
just different than being like a comedy show.
And I think getting to what your point is, like, there's a separation between comedy fans and Kill Tony fans. Like, there has to be. When I go back home and I tell people that I've met Cam Patterson, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you've met Cam Patterson?"
Yeah.
But if I tell them that I've met Ari Shaffir, they're like, "Who's that?" It's like,
Yeah.
What do you mean? Who is that? Like, but they've seen Cam Patterson on TikTok, and that's the big thing. Is that if you're on TikTok, you're in with my generation, which is stupid and idiotic. And
Yeah, but it's also like where the media is coming from.
yeah,
It's like TV is kind of like not the thing anymore. The whole thing is like it's always in this country, it's always going to be whatever is marketed the best people are going to hear about.
right.
You know what I mean? And like the thing with Kill Tony is that it's like it's just marketed super well, and they make a shit. It's like perfectly designed for the internet and to make reels.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
Yeah.
Everybody Does a Minute. That's a reel.
Yep.
And I don't know if this was conscious or it was by accident, but it just fell into this thing where, like, and then crazy shit will happen and you can cut it into a reel.
Right.
So it's like, of course they're going to hear about that. You know what I mean? But I think the thing that it is like a little bit different than a comedy show. You know, it's almost like a really, really like chaotic version of like late night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like late night broke a ton of comics. You know what I mean? But I feel like when people go to watch late night, they watch like late night and there happens to be like a comic there sometimes.
Right.
And they go, "That's interesting. I like that comic." And that's almost how Kill Tony feels, where it's like the minute of comedy is like kind of just like a side thing. But the chaos and the stories and like the weird moments that happen, like that's like the main thing.
Yeah.
Like it's the entertainment, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's weird. It's like I feel like if it was a comedy show, it'd be more than a minute.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, people give Rogan shit because he doesn't pick it apart. But it's also like, why the fuck would you pick apart a show that sells out your club every Monday?
You wouldn't.
You would just say positive shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
why would you look to the people making money off of it to be like, is this a comedy show or not?
Yeah.
That would be really stupid.
At my comedy club, by the way.
Yeah.
My comedy club, by the way. Is this even comedy?
It sells it out every Monday, which is almost impossible day to sell out. Think about how hard it is to sell out a club on a Monday.
Yeah. Every other day would make more sense. Or more sense than Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday's kind of, but like,
yeah.
Damn, I didn't even fucking think about that.
Yeah, like why would Rogan throw it under the bus?
He wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't criticize it.
No.
But yeah, it's like it's a genius entertainment show, but I want to be really, really good. I want to be great at comedy, so it's like, where do I go to do that?
Yeah.
You go do as many spots as you can. And it's like, if they're gonna make you regular, that's great, because you'll pull an audience.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can keep up with how quickly it happens.
And the thing is that hopefully leads to more sets.
It will.
Right.
That's the thing, is like, you need to be able to keep up with those sets.
Yeah.
Because there's like a couple people that like got on that show, they got like golden tickets or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna name names because I like them.
Yeah, good guys.
Good guys. They even could be really, really, really good at comedy.
Yeah.
The potential is there, but when you get the golden ticket or the stage time like that, like 3-4 years into comedy, like it's tough to keep up with that.
Yeah.
So you might not want to you might want to think and like not jump into being like it's like a gift and a curse, is like being that famous from that show that fast. you get a bunch of spots, dude. If you can't keep up, you're kind of fucked. Like, people are going to talk, and they're going to know. And the new regulars are going to come along and replace you. And then you're out there. And it's like, did I build an actual audience doing this?
Oh, fuck.
Did I build a good... Yeah, like, that's a really big potential that could happen. Like, I would much rather be patient, work really hard, and then, like, be able to grab every rung that is handed to me. I don't want you to, like, just pick me up and then put me on a top level thing and I can't hold on to it.
Right.
Like, that's like a recipe for disaster. Because the way I see it, I'm slowly getting more shows, getting the word out, doing a little bit longer spots. But every time I've been on a show, I don't think, and I'm pretty sure no one's, like, said to themselves, he shouldn't be on this show right now. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So it's like, maybe just be over prepared for the thing. Like, if they're going to ask you to do 5 minutes, have like 15 solid minutes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You might be like, 5 minutes is boring, but that's kind of like good in the long run.
No, 5 minutes is a pretty good set, I feel like. It's enough time to prove you're funny.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and you could just be like, but you want to be like over prepared for these things.
No. And I said this a long time ago too, is, you know, if Kill Tony really was about comedy, you would either like Tony and Red Band, why don't you guys ever do a minute? You have this show where you guys make other people do a minute every single week. We've never seen Kill Tony or Tony Hinchcliffe just do a minute. It's never happened before. And then on second hand, I feel like it should be at least 5 minutes.
Yeah.
At least.
Maybe like 2 to 3.
Or, yeah. But if it was if you really wanted to show people if they're funny or not, if you wanted to answer that question, I feel like 5 minutes really gets the answer to that question.
Yeah, it would just be probably too long of a show.
Right.
But that's why I think it's like kind of about something else.
It has to be.
It's like entertainment it's like an entertainment show that also has comics do a minute.
Right.
Right. It's like it's a talk show.
There's also
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a talk show.
They're also benefiting off of this thing in America where fame has become the number one thing to be.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that or not, in America, it's this idea has kind of gone through everybody's mind of like, to be free, financially free, you got to be famous. Yeah. And then you have this show where all you need to do is a minute, and then you could just embarrass yourself, right? And then you get shit on for 10 minutes. You're still in the eyes of fame. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like people, you still get exposure from that.
Right.
Things like that.
Exactly. And maybe you're not a comic. Maybe you become an influencer after your Kill Tony bomb. Who knows? Maybe that's how you're known by. Either way, that person still gets their goal of being famous.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like, it just seems like it's not like it's a terrible thing for comedy. It just seems like it's something else than like really learning how to be a comic and making your act so good that people want to see it. Yeah. I feel like those are just two different things. You want to take a quick break?
I gotta pee. So we'll take a quick
water. Do you have any caffeine?
Yeah, we have caffeine. Okay, so we'll take a break and we'll come right back. And we're back. We are back.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I do want to the podcast listeners, Chris tried to give me deodorant. And I just would fucking not talk about Kill Tony anymore and just talk about the fact that, like I said, either pay me or don't. And I said either one is fine, but I'm not taking shit from your home.
No.
Back with me. I'm not. You can't just give me stuff from your house.
You want a pillow? You want a pillow,
exactly.
Dude? You want a deodorant?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Deodorant?
What do you want?
You want toothpaste?
Yeah. Do you have soap?
Toothpaste. I got shoes. You want a pair of shoes? I can give you shoes.
What a callback.
Yeah. It's pro bono, man. I don't want any deodorant.
Okay.
It's fine.
But you were saying you did another podcast.
Yeah, and the dude was drinking and chain smoking. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, Occasionally I'll do stand up a little bit tipsy,
Right.
not
Right.
hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's fine, I guess. You know, I don't want to learn how to do it drunk, but I don't really like podcasting drunk or spending like 4 hours drinking.
No.
You know what I mean? In the middle of the day like that. So
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
do it, but he's like chain smoking and drinking, and he's like, "Hey man, can I get one of those Zins?" I was like, "Have you ever had one?" And he just started like, he was like, "No." I gave it to him. He started hiccuping, and had to like take it out of his mouth, and like, he's like, "Man, this is strong. These are great." And he like took it out after like 30 seconds. I was like, "You're supposed to leave them in there." He's like, "Fucking strong." So I don't know. I don't know what's really in Zins at all.
No, I don't know. I know that there's no way that it doesn't do anything to you to harm you. You know, there's always a cost benefit to
Yeah.
anything you're doing. There's got to be something that it's doing to you.
Some people say it messes up their gums. I haven't had any problems with my gums. I mean, I'm sure there's like maybe like microplastics in it.
Right. Of course.
And like maybe some like there's probably like a little bit of metal in there too from like getting them cut. You know, it's still better than dip though.
Oh, much better than dip. It's much better than a lot of things. I mean,
much better, but it's not better than nothing.
nothing. No.
Right.
No way. Zero chance. But I mean, you have these fucking, I mean, especially my generation of just sucking on flavored air from whatever factory that it's made in China with like little children's hands. I can't.
You guys are gonna kill yourself doing that.
Oh yeah.
I would recommend just rolling your own cigarettes.
Yeah. No, at that point, I always say just go cigarettes.
If you're gonna smoke something, hand rolled cigarettes, just the tobacco and the paper, you shouldn't do it. But if you're going to smoke, that's like the best one. You can even buy your own filters.
Yeah. Well, they say the best one by far is cigars, right? I think that's the one that.
Yeah, but not for your mouth. Maybe for your lungs.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is like the filter. Yeah, I guess it's better for your lungs, but then it's also like if you're at a cigar bar, you're just breathing in cigar smoke out of the air, and it's unfiltered tobacco, so it's just like it's literally rolled up tobacco leaves.
Right.
So it's not bad. It's all just
it's all bad.
Shit you don't want to put
Everything's
in your body.
bad for you.
Yeah, most of it. Except for water, I guess. But even the water.
So
this is we're being cheery at the end of this. Waiting for this Red Bull to kick in.
We're talking about all this shit that can't.
So my mood can pick up. We just started talking about crazy open micers and Kill Tony. Then you're just like, God, what the fuck are we doing? This is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, and we are also part of the crazy people who go.
No, we're not. No, I don't accept that. There are crazy people. We're people trying to make it in comedy. That's different. They're like literally like schizophrenic goblins. And they come in numerous numbers, and then they'll switch out after like a year. And then they'll just be different ones. People that are bringing like luggage to mics.
Oh, yeah.
And the creek is like, dude, you can't bring
a suitcase.
Suitcases in here. What are you doing? You didn't even go to a building first?
No.
What the fuck, dude? You don't even have like a car to... What the hell is going on?
They came straight here from the airport.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Airport to Creek in the Cave is nuts.
That's... Turn around. That should be... Keep the immigrants. I say deport. If you go straight from the airport to an open mic, you're deported down to Guatemala.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck out of here. That's so insane. That's so upsetting.
We should have ICE right by open mics at all time. Just armed guards.
Yeah.
Speaking of this guy who is just chain smoking and drinking, and I don't want to talk shit about this guy. Were you drinking or
no?
So he was just getting lit, and you were just like this.
Yeah. Yeah, we did like 4 hours. It was me and 2 other people, and one of them was just getting lit and taking breaks to like go smoke. Then I would just talk to the other guy. Some wild shit was said on that podcast. I had a good time.
Yeah.
But this is part of the thing too, is like, and I'm not even mad at them because I talked about what they wanted to talk about, but also the shit that they clipped for the reels. I just like didn't even agree to have it on my Instagram. When they were like, "Do you want to share the reel?" And I listened to it. I was like, "No, I don't actually."
Yeah.
Because we went through the whole thing of like World War II and like conspiracies of like the banks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was playing it to like get everybody back down to earth. But they had this whole thing about like the Japanese concentration camps. Because the Japanese had their own.
Yeah.
Where they had like prisoners of war and stuff. They were like detailing all the horrific shit they did. And then there was like a part at the end where like we made some jokes and it was funny, but they just clipped out of context them describing the horrible shit. And I was like, dude, I'm not putting this
on my...
I'm not like my family sees this.
Yeah, I don't want my mom...
Yeah, like you're talking about like in detail like about like torturing prisoners. And it was just out of context. I can't just like put that on my story.
Right.
What the fuck? It was also 4 hours.
4 hours?
Because we were just hanging at
nuts.
It was just hanging at the house. It wasn't 4 hours of that, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I was like, dude, we talked about other stuff. Like going like to clip something that's not like completely fucked up, and let people listen to it if they want to get 3 hours into this podcast, which they're not. But like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what my overall point there is, but
I think it's a problem when everybody has a podcast, and it's a problem if you're just starting out. You can kind of have an ego about it because nobody else is sort of watching over your shoulder. So one of the things that was good for me, I'd say, is when I was 17 years old, I started a podcast, and by the 10th episode, I said to myself, I said everything that I've ever thought before. In my 17 years and 10 hours.
Yeah,
because
17-year-olds don't have shit to say.
They don't have shit to say. And I thought I did. I was like, no. I could do Joe Rogan's 2,000 episodes. But then you go, wait, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you need guests, man.
You need guests. And
the fuck is a 17-year-old going to say?
Nothing.
But 17-year-olds are super annoying.
Really annoying.
They'll
Horrible.
be like, they think they know everything.
Know everything. And meanwhile, like, just looking back at, and I think about this now, too, because I'm only 21. So by the time I'm 25, I'm probably going to look at my 21-year-old self and be like, what the fuck was that guy talking about?
Yeah, your brain will settle in around 27, 28.
Right.
And you'll feel kind of similar to that for pretty much the rest of the time.
Okay.
But that's like from a scientific standpoint.
Right, because the frontal cortex.
Yeah.
When it fully develops, it's around what you're saying, which it used to be 25. Everyone was like, no, you're like fully mature at 25. And they keep pushing that back to like what you're saying, 26, 28.
I think it's 27. I think they stayed at 27.
Are they staying at 27 now?
I'm not up to date on that.
Okay. I was told
cerebral cortex.
You don't know?
No, I'm not up to date on it.
You came on this podcast without researching the frontal cortex?
I didn't prepare for this at all. I put zero effort into preparing for this. You know what I did before this? I had El Pollo Rico and immediately had diarrhea. And then came over here. That's what happened to me.
I was like...
It wasn't like going over notes. Not for this.
Dude, come on.
Buddy, do I have to bring up the shoes again? 'Cause you didn't even fucking pick up your room. So what are we doing here? You have like a porno GoPro in the corner that's used to film like Albanian sex trafficked women in a dungeon. That's what you have. So don't get on me for not. I'm telling you, there's a fucking one loose peanut and no fucking case of peanuts. No one knows where this peanut came from.
So you're gonna I think slapped me. So I left for a month to go back to Massachusetts because my parents just started a pickleball company, and I wanted to help them out with it.
Yeah, that's good.
And I had Tim Warner and Nick V stay here while I was gone. And I think that Peanut came after
When
I
did
came
you
back.
get back?
Last Tuesday. The Tuesday before, whatever that was. It was the 20th or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I
on the first day back, the Peanut is their fault. At this point, man. You have a lot of faith in people letting them stay here.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, not a ton of stuff.
No, there's not. What are they going to do? Take the podcast stuff? Maybe it's a sign from God.
Yeah. Maybe it's time to pack it up.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, big man upstairs.
I came back. The
It's
podcast
time to
stuff
go
was
back
still
to
here.
Finish this up. Get my GED. Get out of Kava. Quit having 33-year-old semi-open micers on the podcast. Maybe step it up a little.
No, dude. I came back. The podcast equipment was still here. I was
Well,
like,
thanks, God.
God.
Thank you, but also kind of fuck you
Yeah.
for not having them steal this from me. Now I still got a fucking podcast. My God. Yeah, I almost got rid of that addiction.
You get too far into it.
Yeah.
You're 4 years into it. You look around. You have no real skills, except you've sort of figured out how to make your idiotic points sound somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's yeah.
that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
What are you talking about, man? Just
But I've always my I'm trying.
you don't have to be so nihilistic, dude. You're 21. You get 40 years in. You're not 40 years in. So let's take a chill pill. I'm telling you, you just vacuumed. It would change your whole outlook on this whole thing.
Vacuuming, the shoes, the peanut.
It's 3 things. The list is about 4 to 5 things long that could take a total of 2 hours. And you wouldn't feel like you have 0 skills.
Right.
Just podcasting.
Yeah, I don't know,
I mean,
man.
it's true for some people. Some people get to that point, but you can't be thinking like that. You got to think how you're going to make this thing pop off.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
It's going to be real difficult.
Yeah, but what do you want to do? You want to talk about Creed and get paid for it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, there you go, buddy.
Yes.
It's a difficult path, but it's worth it. You want to talk about nonsense?
Yes.
They get paid for it.
Yeah.
At least a little bit, so maybe you could do something part-time.
Yeah, my parents have convinced me to go to trade school.
What are you studying?
I'm not in it yet. We're looking into it. They've like been bashing it over my head for 2 years, and I finally have conceded. And
Trade school's a good thing, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, I want to go into electrician because I figured maybe that might help do something with stand-up or podcasting, where if there's somebody there who needs something to,
Listen, yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you keep going.
No.
I get hyped up. I get like ideas, and then I have to say the thing immediately.
Right.
I don't want to cut you off.
No. And well, my idea is hopefully I can use that trade of being an electrician in stand-up comedy or in podcasting in some sort of way.
Yeah, you can use it by the money you're going to make.
The financial freedom.
Yeah, you don't want to be fucking doing like a minimum wage on Kava.
No.
HVAC is good too.
HVAC?
Yeah, because they just do AC units.
Yeah, that's true.
Electrician's good. Electricians make a lot of fucking money.
They make a lot of money, and I'm working like 40 hours a week now. If I just do 30 hours a week as an electrician, I'll still have a pretty flexible schedule, hopefully, depending on what job I have. And then I'll have all the money I need. This is all I need to be a stand-up. This is more than enough, to be honest. And
Yeah.
so if I can just keep this afloat, I'm okay.
Yeah, you're fine. Just make some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kava's not going to do it.
No.
Kava sucks ass.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have a pretty slackery job right now, but it pays the bills.
What job do you have right now?
I work at a investment firm doing, like, stocking the shelves and doing, like, coffee.
Okay.
Because they have, like, a bunch of break bars on every floor.
Sure.
They need them, like, cleaned and coffee made and the shelves stocked. So it pays the bills, and then it's, like, really low maintenance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Mondays and Fridays, they work from home, so nobody's there. So like, if I need to take off a Friday once a month, I can to go to like Houston and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. I went to trade school for welding.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I welded for a few years. The tough part about welding is like it's just really like exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're tired.
I think electrician would be less exhausting.
I hope so.
Depending on what you do. I mean, HVAC is like JT Stockman sells AC units.
Oh, okay.
To like RVs, and he'll drive around and just sell like a shit ton of them.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
the thing
smart.
about HVAC is it's like the people are always gonna need like climate control in their house.
Yeah, especially here.
That's never going out of business.
No.
Neither is like the electrician. The problem with the welding thing is it's like all the jobs in the city are at like factories, so they have like really bad hours for it. And then if you want to make a shit ton of money doing it, you have to like go to like Alberta because like they only pay a lot of money for people to do like the welding jobs that nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Carpentry is exhausting. Don't do that. Maybe electrical work might not be too bad.
Yeah.
You get some exercise. It'll be hot. I mean, you're going to be like in unfinished buildings.
Right.
In Texas in the summer. It's going to be fucking hot, but it won't be as strenuous as like welding probably.
Right. Right. Well, during the summer, I'm a swim coach, so that's pretty hot outside too, and you're in the sun all day long. But
yeah, that's not bad.
No, the swim job isn't too bad. Hours suck, but what are you gonna do?
What are the hours?
They range from anywhere from like 9 o'clock all the way till 8 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Because the sun stays out long here.
Like,
and so you have, and the thing is the way the job's set up, you only get paid when you're working, and sometimes they don't have work. So like you'll come back and you have a 3-hour break.
You're like unionized on the docks? Are they like drunk swim instructors waiting to clock in because they run out of work? That's wild. Well, they run out of work. Well, then just let them fucking drown, I guess. The fuck? Just let them not swim. If you don't want to bring your kids in, the fuck do you run out of work for that? Shit ton of kids. No one wants to teach them how to swim.
I know. The thing is it's expensive because I'm a mobile swim instructor, so I drive to people's houses and teach their kids how to swim from their pools. So it's like super easy on them, but if they don't have people paying for that, they're like, sorry, go back in your wet swimsuit in your apartment for 3 hours.
And wait.
And
until somebody, calls in?
Well, no, you have your schedule. So you have your schedule for that day. But sometimes they'll just be like, you have 3 hours of nothing.
Right.
And you don't get paid all the time. And sometimes you're driving longer than what you're getting paid for. So it's weird. It's a weird job.
Yeah, so you want something consistent.
Yeah.
People need electricians. You need to learn Spanish, though.
I'm learning Spanish.
Down here.
Yeah.
If you can get in the trades down here, you got to be able to chop it up.
Yeah, I speak. That's the thing at Cava that's good. A lot of Mexicans. A lot of people who just speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So I can speak pretty good broken Spanish now.
Yeah.
Like very small words, but I can kind of get across some things.
Yeah, they'll want you to learn too. My
Yeah.
coworkers at my job got mad at me. They weren't mad, but like they're all Mexicans or Cubans. A lot of them just speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And they would just talk to me in Spanish, even though they could speak English. A lot of them.
Really?
And I'd look at them and be like, I don't speak Spanish. They'd be like, you'll learn. And I'm like, no, you're not teaching me. You're just speaking a foreign language to me. They're like, have you not learned? You've been here 2 months. I'm like, you haven't taught me anything. And they would like get upset. I was like, you need to speak. I don't understand. I don't care that you're doing it. I don't know what you're saying. Wild shit. They'd be like, why aren't you doing this thing? I'm like, I don't speak Spanish, dude. Really upsetting. And then they can speak they would speak to me in English asking me why I can't speak Spanish. You're like, I don't know. Just fucking speak English, please.
Yeah, so that's sort of where I'm going for, though, right now, is trade school. That's my next plan, my next journey, I guess, here.
Next quest?
Yeah.
Next hero's journey?
Next hero's
You're going
journey.
to love trade school, dude. Trade school is fucking wild.
Really? I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or
No,
not.
it's wild.
What
Imagine
about it
it's
is wild?
either like 19-year-olds that believe in Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
or it's like 40-year-olds that have like killed somebody. That's like what trade school is. Trade school is fucking insane. Like it's not. It's you're gonna see it's definitely not college.
Okay.
Like I went there and they would give us like smoke breaks
Mm-hmm.
when we were reading in class. They'd be like, all right, it's been an hour. Everybody take your smoke break. Like they gave us breaks from reading to go smoke cigarettes. That's true. I was in there like some of the dumbest fucking people I've ever met. I looked over one time, the teacher was teaching, and there was a kid just facing the wrong way. I swear on my life. He was just facing just the back of the class.
Yeah.
With his headphones turned up all the way. It was insane. Then we were setting up a gas tank. Do you know what an oxyacetylene torch is?
No.
It's used to cut inch-thick metal.
Oh, I
And
think
it's a torch that you heat and then use air to blow
Okay.
like the melted
okay.
like metal through.
Yeah.
And it's hooked up to an oxygen tank and a gas tank. So you have an open flame on one end of a gigantic gas tank. And if you don't set it up correctly, the flame can travel back through the tube and it turns into like a bomb. It'll just blow up like a gigantic compressed gas tank.
And you have people who can't go an hour without smoking cigarettes
Yeah.
around this.
Or like we had just had kids who were just facing the wrong way in class. Setting this thing up. And dude, I shit you not, people were like refusing to read the instruction manual. There's like an argument because no one wanted to read it.
Yeah.
And then one guy goes, I'm not going to read it. I'm a welder, not a reader. He said that. I was sitting there like, oh my God. And that actually, I shit you not, that was the instructor of the class.
The instructor of the class said that?
Yeah, the instructor said that. So the instructor was refusing to read the setup process for the explosive gas tank that he made all of us stand right next to while they were just setting it up and turning it on. Wild shit. Another kid in the middle of class, some guy goes, we're going to learn long division. We're all like, some of the people in there are like 40. They're like, we're going to do long division day. And this kid just goes, long division is gay. He like refused to learn it. And then he got kicked out of school. He failed because he welded a piece of metal and grabbed it with his bare hands. right after. And he got 3rd-degree burns and had to leave school. I just, like, and not even to be a dick, but truthfully, some of the dumbest fucking people I've ever.
Okay. That makes me feel better.
Also, dude, trade school's not hard.
No, it's 18 months.
It's 18 months. You don't go into a lot of debt. And it's like, one test we were taking, the instructor goes, this is not an open book test. And then everybody just opened their books anyways and cheated in front of the instructor's face. But he was like this giant fat dude that would drink like 64 ounces of Mountain Dew a day and fall asleep in his chair. When like we were welding, he would just pass out in his chair with like a giant mug of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And like he just looked at us cheating and just was like, whatever, and just
kept going.
He just didn't do anything about it. Really, it was one of the most dog shit places I've ever been. 2 kids got in a boxing match.
Yeah.
Because one day they bumped into each other and they were like, got into an argument.
Yeah.
And then they were like, tomorrow at lunch, we're going to box. And they went up to the top of the parking garage during lunch the next day. They brought boxing gloves in.
To the place?
They brought boxing gloves to school, and then we all just stood in a circle and they just beat the piss out of each other on the top of a parking garage. And one kid got hit in the face, slipped, hit his face on the concrete, and then just went back to school. And nobody like did anything. And then one of the instructors, the same dude who's like, I'm a welder, not a reader.
Yeah.
Was like, you need what the hell are you watching? Because the kid had like a fucked up face.
Yeah.
And had like a fucked up face, and then they showed him the video of it, and he got mad. He was like, next time this happens, I want to watch. And he just like left. So it's like some of the schools are really good.
Yeah.
The thing is like the trade school is just there to get you a job. So you just put up with it.
Sure.
So you had like kids like that were the dumbest sacks of shit to ever exist. And then you had like, they let us have like partners in the booth. You know what I mean? When we were like welding, there'd be somebody else in there. And I just picked like the smartest guy I could find. He was a good dude. And then there was like a guy that was like 40 there who's like he worked for like Caterpillar, that company, and they tried to start a union, and then all of them got fired.
Right.
And they moved the factory down to Mexico. And so he was like in the school too. So it's like a mix of really good people and like the shittiest, like just dropout, burnout losers.
The one problem with me that I've always been worried about is my dyslexia. So
with electrical work?
Well, not with electrical work.
Maybe you want to go into HVAC. Isn't dyslexia you mix shit up?
Yeah, you mix shit up.
Yeah, you can't mix up the wires.
Well, no, not with wires. Just with when it comes to reading.
Dude, so you'll fit in.
Yeah. Okay.
It's trade school, dude.
Okay.
It's not. Trust me.
Yeah, and I can still
read. It's not Harvard.
It just takes me like twice the amount of time of a normal person.
You'll be fucking valedictorian.
Okay.
If you can read there, you're graduating at the top of the class.
Okay, I can read, just really, really badly.
You're good to go. I think you're gonna excel. It's fucking trade school. It's not a high level place, bro. Like some of the kids who they call them to read, they could not fucking read.
They couldn't?
Barely.
Okay. All right. You made me feel so much better.
I'm telling you, when you go there, you'll be like, wow. I didn't realize this could be. Like, I didn't realize people could be this, like, dumb.
Really?
Some of them, yeah.
Wow.
It depends on the school you go to.
Okay.
Mine was really shitty, and it was close, and I wanted to get certified.
Right.
Some of them are shitty. Some of them are, like, really, really nice. You know what I mean? I would try to pick like a good one.
Okay.
But like you're not going to not fit in because of dyslexia.
Okay. Perfect. That literally has always been my one worry with trade school is my dyslexia.
Nah, I would worry about like a PhD program maybe. But this is not that. A lot of the stuff is going to be like drawings.
Okay. That's fine. I'm good with drawings.
A lot of pictures.
Perfect.
And a lot of hands-on shit.
Perfect.
And you're going to be like, I need to do electrical work, and they're just going to have you do electrical work until you graduate.
Oh.
I mean, it's not.
Okay.
Trade school, you just go and learn the thing and leave.
Okay.
That's what it's for. You're not doing, like, English.
You're getting me hyped up for trade school.
I'm a advocate. Seriously.
You're doing a good job. You're literally getting me, like, fired up for this.
I'll fucking advocate for it all the time. I genuinely believe in it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you're going to, like, a dude I was with in class had just gotten out of jail for double homicide. So, like, you might be with a guy like that. But
Sure.
if you keep your eyes on the prize,
Mm-hmm.
you can do the fucking school, and then you'll just do that until you learn how to do it and then leave. You don't have to do anything else. There's no fucking history. There's no English.
Yeah.
The only math or whatever is...
I'm good at
like,
math.
Yeah, it's only for what you're, like, learning. No fucking calculus.
And there's no... Is there, like, X's in the math? You know when math, like, had X's and Y's and...
Algebra?
Yeah.
I don't think there's... It depends on what electrical work calls for.
Okay.
I mean, there's a little bit of that in welding.
Mm.
You know. But, I mean, you know, there's really good spots and there's, like, not good spots. But, I mean, I feel like, you know, if you keep your eyes on the... It's kind of like being sort of at, like, a shitty show or, like, an open mic. You keep your eyes on the prize of being good at comedy. It's not so bad. But if you're going to sit there and be like, oh, everybody around me is a weirdo, it's going to suck.
Okay.
But you just don't focus on that.
Right. You just got... Well, and somebody said this to me, too, is like, all right, well, do you like your job at Kava? No. Okay. Are you going to like trade school? No. But it's the same thing. Like, you're still doing something.
You might actually like it, dude.
Really? I hope so. I mean, I really hope so.
I like trade school because we would do the book thing, and then I would just, like, weld all day.
Okay.
And they would just, like, teach you how to weld. I liked it because I went there to do a thing, and I just got to do that thing.
That makes sense.
It wasn't, like, a bunch of extra hoops or bullshit.
Right. Okay.
You'd be surprised how much better, like, you just hanging out. My favorite job was the factory in North Carolina. It's my favorite job I've ever had because it was just, we were building food processing machines, and they were just like giant 8x15, like stainless steel boxes, like the frames, and then the machinery pieces in there that we would all have to weld on. So it was literally like going to work. It was like a jungle gym, like climbing up and down and welding all these parts
that
with
is
like
cool.
With like the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Right.
I'm like a lot of the misery of Kava is just like, it feels fucking pointless because it is.
Mm-hmm.
People treat you like dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say what you want to say.
No.
You can't be outside.
Yeah. Yep.
They treat you like piss. You know what I mean? And like in a trade, imagine you just go to an unfinished house with some dudes, hopefully that are like cool, and you're just like hanging out.
Yeah.
And there's no like HR. There's no fucking like corporate bullshit. And it's not a bullshit job. People need electricity.
Yeah.
So you're not doing like bullshit work. Even the HVAC thing is like, people would die here without AC.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like a lot of like pretentious people that work in offices, and they're like, oh, I'm like better than this job. It's like, you're not better than these people. You're alive because of these fucking people.
Okay.
So it's not what I advocate for, because it's like there's a lot of dudes that could do it and have like a good experience, and there's like nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
And like you might find out that you like it because you get to be outside and you don't have to You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you get to come home like well worked,
Yeah.
like dirty in the right way.
Yeah.
Not smelling like fucking onions from some stupid bowl of.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That some like cunt asked you to build for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's like
Yes.
mean to you while you do it.
Yeah.
You just hang out with Mexicans and just put some shit in. Another thing too is like when the thing is done, it's fucking done. You don't take those jobs home with you.
Yeah.
That's the thing about like really corporate shit that I can't stand. There's always like weird passive aggression and who did this and who's doing that. It happens all the time at my coffee job because it's like, who's doing what floor and did you get, like I literally, my job is mainly to put cups on a shelf for like people to take, and then they'll be like, there's not enough cups. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this or you at all. Like you're gonna bitch at me because like one of the drip coffee things was empty when there's like two behind it that are full. That kind of thing. In a trade, it's like your job is to like build that bed frame.
Yeah.
All the measurements and
Yep.
everything you need to do are on a piece of paper. If you do it to that, you're good, and no one's gonna say shit. You can be whatever you want to be. As long as the fucking table gets built. They don't care if you
Right.
killed somebody. Seriously, it's like just don't kill anybody at work.
Yeah.
We don't care if you use to sell cocaine. We just need the table built. So can you do that without like murdering your coworkers? That's like, I like it. I'm like, all right, thanks. You just fucking leave me alone. You do
Right.
this. At the one factory here I worked, I was building semiconductor parts. So they're like really detailed stainless steel pieces for semiconductor machines.
Sure.
And they'd be like really intricate pieces where you like sit at a desk and put them together. And they would need to be like within the measurements of like 0.001 centimeters.
Okay.
Like a fraction of a millimeter. It needs to be within that range.
Yep.
So it's like pretty detailed shit. One day we're having a meeting. They have us all out there. And the boss is giving people shit because they're here at 5 a.m. and they're like in their booth on their phones. But they weren't doing what they needed to do to get the parts in there to give us the work.
Right.
So everybody was like kind of started to get mad because he's giving us shit, but they weren't doing what they needed to do on their end. And I've never seen this anywhere but a factory in like that culture. One of the old heads, like a dude that had been like 12 years, been welding for like 45 years.
Wow.
Like he was like, it was like his life. He just like goes, you know what? To the manager in front of everybody, he goes, this is fucking bullshit. Like, I'm not exaggerating. He said that exact words. He's like, you need to get the fuck out of my face with this. This is fucking bullshit. We're in here at 5. You're not putting the fucking work out. I think this is a crock of shit. And they started, like, arguing with the manager. He said something, and eventually other people started chiming in and being like, this is bullshit. Fuck you for this. And then the manager just apologized and walked out of the room. And nobody got fired. The manager just goes, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And he just left. There wasn't like an HR meeting or people being
Right.
like, you're really aggressing the other employees, making them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The guy just went, yep, my bad, sorry, and just dropped it. It was wild. It was wild.
Okay.
That's what happens.
You got me hyped up for this. I'm ready for
I mean,
this.
it might, it'd be better than, dude, it's a step up from Kava.
Yeah.
And, if you're too tired to do comedy, doing it, you do it for a couple years. See what it's like. You can always do it and go back to it. People don't want to do it now. I get Indeed job postings for welding like every day.
Really?
Every day they need somebody to do the shit. Because a lot of the people that do it are fucking dumbasses or criminals.
Yeah.
Those are the people that are doing it. But the people they need are like solid dudes who can like take care of themselves.
Right.
Like that's what they need.
Yeah, they need somebody with pants on. That's like
if you can take care of yourself and be sober and be like timely and reliable, you're like ahead of 90% of the people. It's wild.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Okay.
really not. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah, you try it out, and if it's too tiring, just leave. But at least you have that thing.
In my back pocket.
Yeah, like Robert Tabbitt's buddy was like looking for people to weld, and I didn't want to go into it because I just know how like exhaustive it is.
Right.
Especially because it was like custom stuff for homes.
Sure.
So it's like going to the site, carrying it. I was like, that's why I left the first time. I was like, I can't do this and do comedy
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. But like, I hit the dude up and he like hit me back. Like it was like very close. Like if I just went in like the job interviews, literally every job interview for welding that I've had has been me going to a place and showing how well I can weld, and that's it. And they don't even like check your like personality. Like
Yeah, they don't care.
the personal question, literally the last job that I welded at, or one before the last, the factory here, I went and did a weld test. They liked it, and then the manager of the floor just goes, so you're like cool, right? That was like the interview. I was like, yeah, I'm chill. He's like, you're not gonna like freak out on anybody? I swear on my life, this is how it went. And I was like, I'm not gonna freak out. He's like, because we can't have you like snapping and freaking out on people. And I was like, I'm not going to. He's like, all right, man, you're good. You can come back. That was the background check.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to go up to somebody and go, suck my dick. Woo, woo, woo.
Right, yeah. I mean, there was even like fights like on the shop floor where they had to like hold the manager back from people. And then everybody just like goes, gets a coffee, gets over it, and just comes back out.
Right.
Seriously. That
Okay.
like, it's a different
Perfect.
thing.
All right, well, you've hyped me up.
Yeah, are you
for
hyped?
this. I'm hyped for trade school, dude.
You might as well see it. It'll give you good stories.
That's so true.
What are you going to fucking sit around at Kava? You might as well, if they're going to help you with the money for it,
Yeah,
just go see what it's like. It's a new experience, too.
that's true. New bits,
Why wouldn't you put yourself in a new experience?
new podcast stories.
I'm telling you, dude, electricians are going to go out and plumbers are going to go out. The welders are a toss-up because a lot of the shit can be automated now.
Right.
But they can't build a robot to go into somebody's house and
That's
fix their
true.
lights. There's
Yeah.
too many weird variables. You can automate a machine to build cars because
Yeah.
it's the same thing every time.
Right.
But the randomness of the variables of going into somebody's house and rewiring their AC or their electricity is like too complicated right now. So like people are doing less electrical work, you know what I mean? And it's going to keep going down to less. You're going to get in, and then like at a certain point, dude, if you can run your own handyman business or like electrical work, you can like charge whatever.
Right.
You could do 30 minutes of work for like $200.
Right. And that's sort of what I would like to do is just like, I'll work pretty much every day if it's the right time.
Well, for a while, you're going to have to work for somebody else. So
Right.
You're going to be on their schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, which will suck. And I don't.
Yeah, but you're like 21. You should
Yeah.
have the energy.
Oh, yeah, I do. I have the energy. And I like, Kava's fucking, maybe different, right? But it's fucking exhausting, too.
It fucking sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
Food service sucks. The only reason I'm doing what I do now is because it's really simple
Mm.
and easy, and it's not really food service.
Right.
I'm almost like I'm a bartender / like butler. Seriously, I like chat people up, make new coffees,
Perfect.
take the dishes when they're done, start the dishwasher. It's super simple.
Okay.
But like as far as a restaurant goes, dude, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, dude, don't
Okay.
do that. You go, get into trade school, find
Okay.
your people,
Okay.
be amongst the other dyslexic, lost white men in this world. That's what you need to do. It'll be like a penguin returning home. Trust me. It'll be like a penguin gets lost. He waddles back to electrical work.
Right.
Discover your roots. Remember, too, you're born from people in Erie, Pennsylvania. So why don't you just go ahead and skip all the other bullshit and just be what you are. You're wearing a hat that says beer on it. The fuck are you like? I don't know if I would like trade school. We just started out talking about how Creed was good, and you're wearing a hat that says beer on it. I don't know. In a champion shirt? Yeah, you're definitely... There's other people that I wouldn't recommend it to. I'd be like, I don't know if your sissy ass can handle this. But, yeah. Also, maybe stay away from HVAC. Those guys they're different.
Indifferent how?
We always called them, we called it the Europe, the trade school.
Okay. Why is that?
Because, like, the welding room would be full of smoke, and we'd be covered in dirt and, like, metal dust.
Yeah.
We all had, like, gas masks on and shit.
Yeah.
We'd walk over there, and the HVAC room is, like, perfectly clean, and they'd be, like, listening to, like, Daft Punk. It was really weird. It was just one room over. And you go in there and be like, and they'd be, like, just, like, twinkle, like,
yeah.
tinkering with, like, an AC unit.
Yeah.
They never got dirty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walk into the trade school. They're like, "We've been waiting for you."
Yeah.
Where have you been?
It's going to be a bunch of dudes just like you and a bunch of Mexicans.
Okay. Perfect.
That's especially, where is it going to be? In Austin?
Yeah, it's gonna be here. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be probably 4 white dudes like you and 50 Mexicans. Probably, right? Probably not even a lot of black people.
No, probably not.
Maybe they'll drive in from, like, Killeen or something.
Yeah. Maybe one of them who's killed somebody, like you've said, and needs, like, a job.
You shouldn't have assumed that guy was black.
Well.
But he was. So I don't know how to follow that. It was Southside Chicago where I went.
Right. Well.
So it was, I don't know. I don't know what to... That's just a true statement.
No.
So I don't know what to do with that information.
I think you did what you can with that information.
Yeah. You learn a lot of shit, too, in the trades. Yeah, it's just, you'll probably be subjected to, like, you probably start work around 6 to 7.
Damn. Okay.
And then you'll get off 2:30 to 3.
Really? Every day? That's what it is? Okay.
Or Monday to Friday. It's probably what you're looking at.
Okay.
It gets really hot, man. Those dudes want to be out of there by, like, 2:30.
That makes sense.
So a good schedule might be, if you can swing it, get, like, 5 hours of sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Take a nap when you get home at, like, 3.
Yeah, it's probably what I'm going to do.
And then see if you can wake back up for Mike's.
Yeah. That's what I'll have to do.
Probably, but it'll, save your money.
Yep.
Be better.
Yep.
Maybe you can meet somebody that takes you under his wing. Teaches you how to set up electrical stuff so you don't burn anybody's house down. It could probably lead you into, like, an AV job where you, like, set up wiring and shit for sound equipment.
That's hopefully where I would go.
Yeah, I mean, you can find that in Austin.
Right.
The amount of, like, podcast studios that would need to be, like, wired up.
Mm-hmm.
Music studios. That's the thing is that you get into trade school and you look around and you're like, it doesn't always lead to, like, really grody, like, blue-collar work. It's just up to you.
Okay.
I'm telling you, if you're, like, decently intelligent and you're not on drugs and you have your shit together, I'm telling you, you're ahead of, like, 90% of the people.
That's perfect.
So you'd be good.
Okay.
You want to call it there?
Yeah, we can wrap it up here. I wanted to say one more thing. Actually, whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, say it. Come on.
No, I wanted to go back to what you were saying with somebody drinking and chain smoking. Whenever I've done podcasting, I've always come here with, like, what do you want to do? Like, just today, like, if you were like, I'm ready to drink 3 drinks, I'd be like, okay, we're drinking. Or if you're like, I want to get high as fuck, we're smoking weed then. Or whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right? You were just like, I actually just want caffeine. I'm like, okay, that's great. Then we'll have a conversation on caffeine. Whatever you want. Because I feel like to get sort of the best conversation, you have to come at it with, like, where is this guy at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they asked me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they were like, do you want to drink? I was like, no.
Right, but then I wouldn't drink.
Oh yeah.
If you were like, I'm not drinking.
In fairness to them, it made it fun. Because we had 2 sober guys and 1 hammered guy. You know what I mean?
Never mind. I redact my statement. That's
no, but what you're saying is the right thing, and it is professional.
Yeah. Yeah. And
so you keep it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I plan on doing because I just I feel like when you're so young, you got to do whatever you can to sort of seem semi-professional. I mean, aside from all
if you're gonna have people over, you should be professional.
Not leave all the shoes right by the doorway.
Yeah. Again, how many times do we have to call back to this? A lot of your problems, Chris, are one clean of your room away.
Okay. All right. I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah. Can I make a plug real quick?
Go ahead. Do whatever you want.
I have a podcast, a solo podcast that I post onto YouTube once a week, the Alex Olinger podcast. And I have 19 subscribers.
Let's get that to 20.
Let's get that up to 20. Let's move that up to 20. All right? Because that's what I'll make an announcement at 20 subscribers. A lot of people do it at 100,000. I'm doing it at 20.
You got to get the plaque from YouTube.
Yeah.
20 subscribers.
20 subscribers.
Well,
yep.
Alex, thank you so much for coming, my man. We did
Thank
2 hours. Yeah, absolutely. Come back whenever
buddy.
you want. You've always been a great guest. I hope next time you're not hungover or you get drunk here.
I'm not hungover. I wasn't hungover today. Well, I was a little bit at the beginning, but I'm fine.
Yeah, mostly a joke. But anyways, thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you come back.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Toodles.
Bye, Alex. Bye, everybody else.